Okay, here's my explanation of the answers to the questions. I just want you to be aware of how to answer them for the state reading test. So for this question, you'd have to go back to our notes about author's purpose and decide overall the Beast of Loch Ness, what was the purpose? So were we trying to entertain, tell a story? Were we trying to explain about Loch Ness and how it kind of came to be discovered and how people were continuously trying to prove it true? Or were they reflecting on their feelings about the Loch Ness? Or were they trying to persuade us that the Loch Ness was real? A lot of students eliminate story because there's no story told. A lot eliminate feelings because we're not talking about the feelings we have about the Loch Ness. So it's kind of between explain and persuade. Well, persuade, you'll know it's persuade because they'll argue for one side. And this article talks about how people believed it and then how people also did it. So it's not persuade because we don't have both sides. Okay, so B would be your answer, it'd be explain. The next one, what text structure does the author use in the section Fantastic Creatures? So if you go back to the article and we go to that actual place, Fantastic Creatures, and we just read the first paragraph, kind of to get an idea of what it was about. So for thousands of years, people around the world have been telling stories of mysterious creatures. Some of these mythical beasts are obviously fictional, as fantastic as Norbert Hagrid's pet dragon from the Harry Potter series, or the fairies from Cassandra Clare's Mortal Instruments series. But some creatures of myth and legend have turned out to really exist. Well, then it goes on to give us examples of those creatures like the Komodo dragon and the giant squid. People thought they were fake, but they turned out to be real. So if we go back to our guide, we need to decide which of these that fits. So if they're giving examples of different creatures that turned out to be real, are they explaining why something happened? Are they proposing something and then giving examples? Or are they giving steps? First you do this, then you do this, then you do this. Well, we decided for sure we can eliminate sequential because we're not giving steps. We're not saying it's not a how-to. Then we eliminate cause and effect because they're not explaining why something happened. It's propose and support because they're proposing that people have continuously been looking for fantastic creatures and then they turned out to be true. So they give examples like the Komodo dragon and the kraken or giant squid. Okay? So for your examples, you could put down Komodo dragon and giant squid because those were examples that supported their proposition. You can skip example 3. Then for question 3, it says in which section does the author mainly use problem and solution? So they present a problem and give a solution. Well, we eliminated C because that one we already figured out was proposition support. So if you go back to the article and we check the other two, which would be finding proof and imagination and belief, if you go to finding proof, which is on the same page here, further over, read the first few lines. Over the decades, several theories about the Beast of Loch Ness have been proposed. Well, then they go into the different theories, okay? And then the other one is on the second page here, a little further over. I can get to it here. Imagination, belief. In the 8 decades since the Mackays took their fateful drive, more than 1,000 people have claimed to have seen the same kind of creature. So then they go into, you know, when you propose an idea, a lot of people tend to believe it because of their imagination and our willingness to believe. Okay, so now that we kind of reviewed those, go back to the guide. In imagination and belief, did they give a problem and solve it? Well, no. They provided that people believe things if you say it and then continue to believe it. Finding proof, they do a problem and solution because the problem was finding proof. And then their solution was all their theories and evidence they collected. Okay? So how do we know? Because their problem was finding proof, their solution was their theories and evidence. And then we skip question 4, because I forgot to change it. And then 5, what is the main idea of the text? Well, to find main idea, obviously you're going to look for how many times something's mentioned in there. If it's mentioned in there a lot, then it's a main idea. That's why it's main. So we went through and checked. The Loch Ness Monster and other creatures are real. Is that mentioned a lot? Human beings are naturally interested in the mysterious. Is that mentioned a lot? And then cryptozoology is not regarded as a real science. Is that mentioned a lot? Well, we eliminated cryptozoology because it's mentioned like in 2 paragraphs. And then we went and eliminated Loch Ness Monster and other creatures are real because it is mentioned throughout, but it's not in every paragraph or every section. But human beings being a natural interested in the mysterious, that is mentioned throughout the whole thing. How they keep showing that we are interested in the mysterious and using imaginations and beliefs. So hopefully that helps you understand your answers and understand how to do this because it will apply to the state reading test. Thank you.